that's it. Season 1 in the books. The bad guys were vanquished, the heroes were victorious, and I think Iona might have a new boyfriend. So we kind of left off with finding out Lavinia was the shaman the whole time. She was the one who had the powers. It wasn't Tiuri. So she kind of rushes off on her own. Tiuri kind of goes and has a pout, meets some old knights who are just get drunk and basically tell him, you know what, kid, the meaning of life is to give up and get drunk. So Tiuri kind of tries, but he's not a huge fan of alcohol. It looks like. So he gets back. It's actually Armin who comes and convinces Tiuri that they have to see this through to the end. So then we head to the castle. It's Tiuri, Armin, Faldo, Giuseppe, and Piak. They're all together. They're determined. They were breaking into the castle. They're delivering this letter to the king. And their method into the castle, go through the sewers. And meanwhile, Prince Viridian has returned to the castle. He arrives at the big banquet. His father's there, his brother's there. It's a whole big happy family. His father gives him a warm embrace. Everyone cheers. Everything is happy and is going to end so wonderfully for everyone involved, right? Well, not so much. So the boys sneak into the castle, and all of a sudden they come upon Iona. Iona apologizes, says she's sorry. Tiuri, being the big dum-dum he is, walks up, gives her a hug, and Iona immediately betrays him. She steals out the letter for the king. The other Red Riders emerge and say, "All right, we'll let you walk away, or you can put up a vain attempt to fight us, and we'll kill you all." So obviously, our heroes draw their swords and battle to the death. And we actually do have one of the characters die here, Giuseppe. Why can't I say his name? Giuseppe. Let's just call him Zippo. Zippo, he actually dies, but thankfully he fell in love with Faldo the night before. They shared a romantic kiss, and then poor Zippo immediately dies. That was kind of sad. I didn't really like that moment. And then we see Tiuri get chased by Iona and the main Red Rider, and he runs straight into that banquet, and everyone in the banquet kind of stops and just stares at him, and he slowly walks to the king. Finally completes his mission, delivers his letter to the king, and we see that this is actually what Prince Viridian planned for. This is exactly what he wanted to happen. He was just sitting in there waiting for the blood moon to rise, and then his father reads the letter, says, "You betrayed me," because obviously he's going to betray him. And Prince Viridian says some garbage about how he's got to save the world or whatever. Nobody was really listening. Whatever. We don't care about you, Prince Viridian. And then Prince Iridian, not to be confused with Viridian. Those names are too similar. So the two brothers, they end up fighting, and it looks like Viridian intentionally lets his brother stab him in the chest. And then all of a sudden, all the gross magic starts flooding out of Viridian's body into the air, and we see this like giant darkness monster. Everyone in the room backs away except for Tiuri. So it's Tiuri facing down with this darkness monster. I think it might have been that, you remember Lost? And there was that ghost shadowed monster in Lost. I think it's the same thing. I think it's the same monster. It's just switched shows. Probably a little choked. They've been typecast as this big bad monster cloud, but sometimes that's life. And and Churi's facing down the darkness monster, and Lavinia comes out of the crowd, and they hold hands, and we learn that love triumphs over the darkness. It was kind of a weird moment because it was very much like the final fight was very much light versus darkness, and like that was it. And the darkness tried to snuff out the light, but the light ends up overwhelming the darkness, and Lavinia saves the world. So that's kind of our end. We see Giuseppe, he passed away. They go have a little funeral for him. Then the four remaining boys, they go back home and they get knighted. And Pioch, that's Giuseppe's younger brother, he becomes the youngest knight in the history of Dagannoth. So kind of a happy ending. And then the little foreshadowing at the end is we see a bunch of birds swoop in and they form into Prince Viridian's face and fly away. So that kind of leaves things open for another season. I enjoyed this season. It was a lot more interesting than I thought. When they did do the big reveal that Lavinia was the one from the prophecy and not Tiuri, I honestly did not see that coming. Got me by surprise. So overall, I enjoyed this show, and if they do make it a second season, I'll be back. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed my recaps, and I will see you later.